Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast. So here I'm Sofia Lapuja. I'm from English Education Department, Class C. Well, in my first podcast, I want to talk about mystery story in the world, or it's called Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, is a loosely defined region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, where a number of aircraft and ships are said to have disappeared under mysterious circumstances. The earliest suggestion of unusual disappearances in the Bermuda area appeared in a September 17, 1950 article published in the Miami Herald by Edward Van Winkle Jones. 2 years later, Fate magazine published Sea Mystery at Our Back Door, a short article by George Sand covering the loss of several planes and ships, including the loss of Flight 19, a group of 5 U.S. Navy Grumman TBM Avenger torpedo bombers on a training mission. Sand's article was the first to lay out the now familiar triangular area where the losses took place, as well as the first to suggest a supernatural element to the Flight 19 incident. Flight 19 alone would be covered again in the April 1962 issue of American Legend magazine. In it, author Alan W. Eckert wrote that the flight leader had been heard saying, "We are entering white water. Nothing seems right. We don't know what we are. We don't know where we are. The water is green, no white." He also wrote that officials at the Navy Board of Inquiry stated that the planes flew off the Mars. In February 1964, Vincent Gaddis wrote an article called "The Deadly Bermuda Triangle" in the pulp magazine Argosy, saying Flight 19 and other disappearances were part of a pattern of strange events in the region. The next year, Gaddis expanded this article into a book, namely Invisible Horizons. The Gaddis Argosy article delineated the boundaries of the triangle, giving its berths as Miami, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. Subsequent writers did not necessarily follow this definition. Some writers gave different boundaries and berths to the triangle, with the total area varying from 1,300,000 to 3,900,000 kilometers squared. Indeed, some writers even stretch it as far as the Irish coast. Consequently, the determination of which accidents occurred inside the triangle depends on which writer reported them. Larry Couchet, author of the Bermuda Triangle Mystery Solved, 1975, argued that many claims of Gaddis and subsequent writers were exaggerated, dubious, or unverifiable. Koch's research revealed a number of inaccuracies and inconsistencies between Berlitz's accounts and statements from eyewitnesses, participants, and others involved in the initial incidents. Koch noted cases where pertinent information went unreported, such as the disappearance of round-the-world yachtsman Donald Crawford, which Berlitz had presented as a mystery, despite clear evidence to the contrary. Another example was the ore carrier, recounted by Berlitz as lost without trace 3 days out of an Atlantic port, when it had been lost 3 days out of a port with the same name in the Pacific Ocean. Koch also argued that a large percentage of the incidents that sparked allegation of the triangle's mysterious influence actually occurred well outside it. Often his research was simple. He would review various newspapers of the date of reported incidents and find reports on possibly relevant events like unusual weather that were never mentioned in the disappearance stories. Koch concluded that the number of ships and aircraft reported missing in the area was not significantly greater, proportionally speaking, than in any other part of the ocean. In an area frequented by tropical cyclones, the number of disappearances that did occur were, for the most part, neither disproportionate, unlikely, nor mysterious. Furthermore, Berlitz and other writers would often fail to mention such storms or even represent the disappearance as having happened in calm conditions when meteorological records clearly contradict this. The numbers themselves have been exaggerated by sloppy research. A boat's disappearance, for example, would be reported, but its eventual or, if belated, return to port may not have been. Some disappearances have in fact never happened. One plane crash was said to have taken place in 1937 off Daytona Beach, Florida, in front of hundreds of witnesses. A check of the local papers revealed nothing. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle is a manufactured mystery, perpetuated by writers who either purposely or unknowingly made use of misconceptions, faulty reasoning, and sensationalism. In 2013, the Worldwide Fund for Nature identified the world's 10 most dangerous waters for shipping, but the Bermuda Triangle was not among them. Triangle writers have used a number of supernatural concepts to explain the events. One explanation pins the blame on leftover technology from the mythical lost continent of Atlantis. Sometimes connected to the Atlantis story is the submerged rock formation known as the Bimini Road off the island of Bimini in the Bahamas, which is in the triangle by some definitions. Followers of the purported specific Edgar Cayce take his prediction that evidence of Atlantis would be found in 1968. As referring to discovery of the Bimini Road. Believers describe the formation as a road, wall, or other structure, but the Bimini Road is of natural origin. Other writers attribute the events to UFOs. Charles Berlitz, author of various books on anomalous phenomena, lists several theories attributing the losses in the triangle to anomalous or explained forces. There are some natural explanations about this Bermuda Triangle. They are compass variations. Compass problems are one of the side quests in many triangle incidents. While some have theorized that unusual local magnetic anomalies may exist in the area, such anomalies have not been found. Compasses have natural magnetic variations in relation to the magnetic poles, a fact which navigators have known for centuries. Magnetic north and geographic north are exactly the same only for a small number of places. For example, as of 2000 in the United States, only those places on a line running from Wisconsin to the Gulf of Mexico. But the public may not be as informed and think there is something mysterious about a compass changing across an area as large as the triangle, which is naturally well. Also, there are Gulf Stream, the natural explanation. The Gulf Stream is a major surface current primarily driven by their Mohaline circulation that originates in the Gulf of Mexico and then flows through the Straits of Florida into the North Atlantic. In essence, it is a river within an ocean, and like a river, it can and does carry floating objects. It has a maximum surface velocity of about 6.6 feet per second. A small plane making a water landing or a boat having engine trouble can be carried away from its reported position by the current. And one of the most cited explanations is official inquiries as to the loss of any aircraft or vessel is human error. Human stubbornness may have caused businessman Harvey Conover to lose his sailing yacht Refonoc as he sailed into the teeth of a storm south of Florida on January 1, 1958. Hurricanes are powerful storms that form in tropical waters and have historically cost thousands of lives and caused billions of dollars in damage. The sinking of Francisco de Bobadilla's Spanish fleet in 1502 was the first recorded instance of a destructive hurricane. These storms have in the face caused a number of incidents related to the triangle. Many Atlantic hurricanes pass through the triangle as they recurve off the eastern seaboard, and before the advent of weather satellite, ships often had little to no warning of a hurricane's approach. A powerful downdraft of cold air was suspected to be a cause in the sinking of Pride of Baltimore on May 14, 1986. The crew of the sunken vessel noted the wind suddenly shifted and increased velocity from 32 kilometers per hour. A National Hurricane Center satellite specialist, James Lawson, stated, "During very unstable weather conditions, the downburst of cold air from aloft can hit the surface like a bomb, exploding outward like a giant squall line of wind and water." A similar event occurred to Concordia in 2010. Off the coast of Brazil, scientists are currently investigating whether hexagonal clouds may be the source of these up to 170 mph air bombs. An explanation for some of the disappearances has focused on the presence of large piles of methane hydrates on the continental shelf. Laboratory experiments carried out on Australia have proven that bubbles can indeed sink a scale motor ship by decreasing the density of the water. Any wreckage consequently rising to the surface will be rapidly disappeared by the Gulf Stream. It has been hypothesized that periodic methane eruptions may produce regions of frothy water that are no longer capable of providing adequate buoyancy for ships. If this were the case, such an area forming around a ship could cause it to sink very rapidly and without warning. Publication by the USGS describe large stores of undersea hydrates worldwide, including the Black Ridge area of the coast of the southeastern United States. However, according to the USGS, no large release of gas hydrates are believed to have occurred in the Bermuda Triangle for the past 15,000 years. There are notable incidents in Bermuda Triangle. There are HMS Atalanta, USS Cyclops, Carol D. Ring, Flight 19, Star Tiger, and Star Ariel. Douglas DC-3, Sonemarov 4, and KC-135 Stetotoconkers. Let's hope that there are no more planes or ships that disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. That's it for today's podcast. See you in the next episode. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.